my rent for free. I want my rent for free.
I just want to do a quick check in the crowd here today. Who is lucky enough to own their home in the crowd? Qui est propriétaire de leur maison? And I'm going to put a scenario in front of you. If you were to sell your house and then rent it back from the new owner, do you think that makes sense?
Today, the bids will close on 9 buildings owned by us, the taxpayers. This is one of them, the Darcy McGee building. The government is going to sell them off to private industry who will make a huge profit. Not only that, they're going to guarantee full occupancy for 25 years. This building is occupied. One of the buildings, the Skyline at the other end of town, is about 10% occupied, but the government is still offering the building for sale, and they're offering 100% guarantee of lease for 25 years. Now, I'm not an economist, but I can say that when we got together and looked at the figures on this, we see in 25 years, that's $2 for every dollar they pay for the building going to these people. And not only that, at the end of the day, they will own the building. At 2 o'clock today, the bids come down. And when the bids come down, they've got 60 days to make a decision. We've got to stop the decision. We've got to get the decision to say they're not for sale. All of the work that's being done on the sale of these buildings, all of the documents that are in place for the sale of these buildings are being done in secret. So secret that a parliamentary committee has asked to see the documents and they've been refused. At the Government Operations Committee last week, they passed a motion at that committee to have a moratorium on the sale until they get the information, until they get the documents, so that they can assess for themselves what it's all about. But the government refuses to do that. Now, Harper talks about accountability. Do you think that's accountability? No! Their hard-earned money paid for those buildings. And it's not only the people who work in those buildings, but it's every taxpayer in Canada has a stake. They own this property, and it should not be given to the private sector for sale and profit.
Our job representing Canadians on the Government Operations and Estimates Committee is to ensure that spending from the federal government is in the best interests of Canadians. We are the democratic custodians and stewards of the tax dollars paid by Canadians. So you would think that with a sale like this, hundreds of millions of dollars of Canadian assets, public assets, that we would be informed as to the details of such a huge sale that's going to be affecting the well-being of Canadians. And why do I say the well-being of Canadians? Well, because not only us, but our parents and grandparents have worked very hard over the years, and our tax dollars have paid for the buildings, for the assets of the people of Canada. These are our buildings.
Le gouvernement conservateur démontre encore une fois un manque de vision flagrant dans sa façon de gérer la chose publique, et la vente des édifices fédéraux n'est qu'un exemple de ce manque de vision.
I think this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, because there's 9 buildings up for sale right now. If they decide to go ahead with this, there's 30 more coming behind that. And then, where does it stop? There's hundreds, literally hundreds more that they're going to be selling off. We can't allow this to happen. I'm asking you, will we allow this to happen? No! What are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to make sure that this government is held accountable, and this government under Harper is tossed out of office because public assets are not for sale.